The Christmas Snapshots preview. We're glad you came to check them out. All these snapshots originals and have not been touched up in any way. A collection has been put in order so that the Christmas story will unfold as you preview our snapshots. Let's get started.
In those days, a decree went out from Emperor Augustus that all the world should be registered. This was the first registration and was taken while Quirinius was governor of Syria. All went to their own towns to be registered.
Joseph also went from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea into the city of David called Bethlehem. Because he was descended from the house and family of David, he went to be registered with Mary, to whom he was engaged and who was expecting a child.
Snapshot is of a crowded street in a little town called Bethlehem. Did you see Mary and Joseph? They were part of the crowd of people who had come to be counted for the census. Here's another shot. Maybe you'll see them in this one. Still couldn't find them? Here's a better shot of Mary and Joseph.
That's Mary in the blue skirt and Joseph is beside her. Everyone is being counted. Everyone was important. Mary and Joseph were also important for another reason. They had a big part in the Christmas story. It was a special assignment and God knew they would handle it well.
You can sing with us.
While they were there, the time came for her to deliver her child, and she gave birth to a firstborn son, and wrapped him in bands of cloth, and laid him in a manger, because there was no place for them in the inn.
Here we have a picture of Jesus, the newborn Savior. Now we'd like to show you a shot of the baby's room. This wasn't a typical baby's room. The inn was full, so the only room available for Jesus and his family was a stable. Jesus shared his room with a bunch of animals, sheep and cows and chickens and all the noises and smells that go along with them. Use your imagination a little as you look at your picture of the baby's room, complete with animals. The animals were the first ones to welcome Jesus, the newborn Savior, into the world. I wonder what their welcome sounded like.
You can sing with us.
In that region, there were shepherds living in the fields, keeping watch over their flock by night.
These shepherds were on a duty on a hillside near Bethlehem. Their job, to take care of a flock of sheep. Here's a picture of the shepherds taking care of the sheep. Here's another picture of the shepherds taking care of their sheep later that same night. And then here's a shot of the shepherds having a midnight snack. For them, it was just another ordinary night of sheep watching. Little didn't they know this ordinary night was about to take an exciting turn. We got this picture of the shepherds as the angel came to visit them that night.
The angel of the Lord stood before them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified.
Suddenly, this snapshot got very crowded as the angel was joined by a bunch of other angels who began to sing. We caught this picture just as the concert was getting started. And then we got this picture a little later when the shepherds were starting to get into the music and the good news they had received. You should have seen it. It was an awesome night. There were bright lights, there was great music, and best of all, there was good news.
The shepherds were in such a hurry to get to Bethlehem to see baby Jesus that we didn't get a chance to get a picture of them. But they were on a mission. Christ the Savior has been born, and they couldn't wait to meet him.
When the angels had left them and gone into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, "Let us go now to Bethlehem and see this thing that has taken place, which the Lord has made known to us." So they went with haste and found Mary and Joseph and the child lying in the manger.
When they saw this, they made known what had been told them about this child. And all who heard were amazed at what the shepherds told them.
You can sing with us.
This is one of my favorite pictures. A bunch of shepherds who was so thrilled about the birth of a Savior that they dropped everything to go and meet him.
In the time of King Herod, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem asking, "Where is the child who has been born King of the Jews? For we observed his star at its rising and have come to pay him homage."
When they had heard the king, they set out, and there ahead of them went the star that they had seen at its rising, until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw that the star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy.
Now the shepherds weren't the only ones who came to see Jesus. A long ways away, there were some wise men who wanted to come and worship the Savior too. The wise men planned to travel a long way to worship the baby. They also planned ahead and got gifts for the Christ child. We got a picture of each wise man here and the gifts they were bringing. Here's a picture of the wise man who is bringing a gift of gold. There is a gift of frankincense from another wise man, and the last wise man was bringing a gift of myrrh.
They had gifts for the Savior, but God had a gift for the wise men. God was going to provide a star that would lead them to the place where Jesus had been born. All they had to do was trust God and follow the star.
On entering the house, they saw the child with Mary, his mother, and they knelt down and paid him homage. Then, opening the treasure chest, they offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
The picture doesn't need much of an explanation. The light of the star had led the wise men to the light of the world, Jesus. From there, the wise men would carry God's light into the world, a world that needed good news, in need of light and good news.
Jesus is Emmanuel, God with us. Jesus came to be our Savior, and that's to bless us with all the love and peace and hope we'll ever need. That's why we got a lot to celebrate at Christmas.
You can sing with us. Thanks for being part of the celebration and the Christmas Snapshots preview. Remember to add these snapshots to the ones you take this year.
again.
Start over. Stop. Just start over. Smile. Okay, this is the Christmas play, so.
A long ways to worship the baby. They also.
Uh-oh. Yeah, now you have a mustache.
Thanks.
Facing him, because it's a Oliver, don't do that, please. So it's a camera that is no, not like that. Oliver, stop.
Take a deep breath.